India has achieved its target of blending 20% ethanol in petrol, that too 5 years ahead of schedule, according to Sugar and Bioenergy Manufacturers Association. But now, the government's pushing even further, planning to raise it to the 27%. What's that going to mean for your car, your mileage, and your wallet? Let's break it down. First up, what's happening? So here's a big headline. The government has reportedly decided to increase the ethanol content in petrol from 20% to 27%. This new fuel blend will be called E27. The Bureau of Indian Standards has already been told to fast-track the fuel norms. That means if all goes well, we could be filling up our tanks with E27 much sooner than expected. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, ethanol is made from crops like sugarcane and maize. More ethanol blending means less crude oil imports, which saves India thousands of crores. It's also cleaner than petrol, less CO2, lower emissions, and bonus, farmers and sugar mills benefit. So on paper, it's a win-win, right? But here's where it gets tricky, especially for you and me as consumers. What does it mean for you? Let's start with the most obvious question. Will E27 make petrol cheaper? Not really. Ethanol itself is cheaper than petrol, yes, but it gives less energy per liter. So you'll end up burning more fuel to get the same distance. With E20, people are already seeing a 5 to 7% drop in mileage. E27 could stretch that even further. Then there's engine. Most cars in India and the bikes on Indian roads today were not built to run on E27 ethanol. Ethanol attracts moisture, can cause corrosion damage to fuel lines. In all, more maintenance issues, especially in older vehicles. Then there are also broader industrial hurdles at play. First up, infrastructure and logistics. Ethanol requires different supply chain, from storage to transportation. Many petrol pumps may need upgrades to safely handle the higher blend. Automakers will need to adjust engines, material, and fuel system components to meet the new standards, which means R&D costs and potentially higher prices for consumers. Car makers will need to introduce flex fuel vehicles that can handle E27 or higher blends. But guess what? Those cars and bikes will cost more, anywhere from 25,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees, more depending on the models. The government has signaled support, but the auto and fuel industries face a steep climb in the terms of readiness. Now, what does the auto industry have to say about it? Automakers are preparing for this shift. Companies like Maruti, Tata, and Hyundai have already showcased flex fuel variants. The standards are being worked out by BIS, and ARAI is looking at engine tweaks. But scaling this up, that will take time and money. Estimates say we'll need over 22,000 crores in the fresh investments to support this transition by 2030. There's also an other side. What are the risks and challenges? Something you heard or don't hear about. If we use more food grains for fuel, it could affect the food prices, especially maize, which is a major feedstock. Plus, if ethanol prices go up, the petrol prices go down, you might still be paying more at the pump. That's a real possibility unless the government steps in with tax breaks or price support. So, should you worry? Not yet, but you should be aware. If you're buying a new vehicle soon, check if it's E20 or E27 compatible. If you already own one, keep an eye on your mileage and maintenance costs. Because this shift to E27, it's happening. And it's going to affect how and what we drive. India's push for ethanol is bold and it's going to benefit. But as always, the real impact hits the consumers first. There is no official fallout or the rollout data of E27 yet, but with policy signals moving fast, it's just a matter of time. In the end, while the shift aligns with India's long-term goals, it's not without short-term friction, especially for consumers and car makers.